Alrighty guys, so today what we're going to discuss is how you can sign SMMA clients or freelance clients on LinkedIn. So a bit of a backstory, up until recently about 80 to 90% of my clients came from Instagram. So we would find businesses on Instagram using different hashtags, we would DM them and then we would try and send them a case study from there. And that's how it's been for the past few months. But over the past probably 2 to 3 months, a few things have changed. Okay, so the first thing is that we started getting a lot more referrals, and this is just a natural progression, right? We got our first client in November, so naturally we're not going to start getting referrals until we've been with clients for 4, 5, 6 months. And we start getting them decent results until they start actually referring other businesses to us. So that's the first thing. We got a lot more referrals recently. Second thing is that we've focused a lot more in the past, I would say 2 months, on retention. Okay, so we kind of mastered the whole outreach thing pretty quickly on. So then we kind of switched our attention to keep the outreach going, but how do we now just make sure that clients aren't just staying for 4 or 5 months, but how do we make sure they're staying for 6, 7, 8, or even 9 months? Because if we can keep a client for an extra 3 months, financially, it is such a good decision to put our effort into that client and make sure they're really happy. And obviously, as well, in terms of running a business, you want to make sure you're actually giving a good service, right? It's not all about just selling and getting the clients in. That's just the first part of the equation. The second part then is satisfying those clients, making sure they're happy. Because like I said, you're not going to get referrals unless you treat your clients well and they're very happy with what they pay you for. So those are the first 2 things that happened. We got more referrals and we focused on retention a lot more. And then the third thing that we kind of did over the past 2-3 months was that we focused more on LinkedIn. So beforehand, I had LinkedIn, right? I had my kind of professional profile set up. I posted a couple videos on there, explaining, I remember I explained Facebook ads before, and then I explained email marketing before, and I was just putting up some content just to see, hey, will I get any inbound leads from this? And then we got one client from LinkedIn. Now, what I think actually happened in this case was that I think we reached out to the person on Instagram, we sent a case study, and I'm pretty sure then he just looked into our company and saw that I was the founder on LinkedIn. So I'm pretty sure it was kind of like a semi-Instagram, semi-LinkedIn referral, but he messaged me on LinkedIn. So that's where the kind of conversation started for us. But my point being is that I didn't use it actively, okay? I just had the profile set up. I had a bunch of connections, mainly people who I went to college with or I knew personally, and I just put out the odd bit of content and that was it. And because we work with a lot of brands, we thought to ourselves a couple of months back, look, we're doing pretty well with Instagram, okay? What we're doing, we know it works, we can just keep that going, but we're probably missing out on a lot of money from, clients who are not on Instagram, or the clients that are on Instagram but will never see our message because they've got a customer support person running their Instagram page. So that was kind of our mindset going into it. We thought, okay, let's try and get direct to founders, CEOs, and at least people who are higher up in a company so that we can have proper conversations and probably get a few more leads and clients from there. So to be honest, we literally took what we were doing on Instagram, we slightly tweaked it, and we just applied that now to LinkedIn. So in short, we found a very solid way of finding businesses in our niche very, very quickly, right? Then we dialed in a script to send to them. I'm going to go into this in a lot more detail very soon, but do not go out there and pitch someone straight away via message. That is not how you do it. And then we basically got our VA to carry out this script and add people on a daily basis and interact with them. So I guess it's a 3-step process, right? 1, we got to find the businesses on LinkedIn. Very, very important. Second, we've got to prove that the messages work. And then third, we have to get our VA then to take over and to actually do that on a daily basis. So I've actually got 5 points that I want to go over with you on how you can start using LinkedIn to get SMMA clients. So I'm going to hop into my laptop. I'll share my screen. I'll walk you through my profile and what we do and show you the ins and outs. Okay, so here we are on my laptop, and as you see, I've got my LinkedIn profile pulled up, and I'm just going to walk you through kind of like the fundamentals that you have to have set up. Okay, so your first thing is going to be a clean profile picture. Mine is clean. It's not the cleanest. It could be way better, but you want to have some form of professional photo. Now, mine is me at a party. I think it was actually at a wedding in London, so it's not perfect, but it's 80% there, okay? So you just want something where you look clean, you look professional, you look happy, and yeah, it kind of puts out that image of you're a professional person. So that's the first part, right? Second part then is going to be a tagline, okay? So this is something I've done a bit of testing on, and this is kind of what's working for me anyway. And it just looks good, I think, and it flows nicely. And that is, what I'm basically saying is, what I am, I'm an Instagram specialist and I'm helping brands and coaches grow their audience on Instagram. Okay, so that's the main offer that we have with my agency, which is called Engagency, if you do want to check it out. Essentially, a big part of what I'm doing there is I'm repeating Instagram twice. And the reason I'm doing that is because I want to get ranked, okay? When people type in Instagram, I want my profile to come up. And that's a very clear way that I can kind of make that happen. Okay, now as you'll see on here as well, I've got a nice little about section. I'm going straight into it of like my experience, what I do, my email, and if they want to see a case study from me, they know what to do. So I'm keeping it nice and short, okay? The next thing then is going to be content, okay? So I've got some content on the page, right? So, you know, I put out a few videos, I posted some stuff before. This isn't hugely important. This is more of a bells and a whistles kind of thing. It looks extra professional if you do this, but you don't need to do it to get started. And then the next thing is going to be activity, right? So as you see here, I've got 1.2k followers. In terms of connections, I don't know how many I have, but I probably have about 1,000, 1,500. So I have a lot of connections, and obviously that looks good because when you go to your page, you'll notice that it just says 500 plus when you have 500 or more. So it's kind of nice to hit that because then they know you're well connected, you've got a bunch of people, and you know, connections are extremely easy to get. You can literally just type in your niche, right? You can just type in supplement, you could type in Facebook or whatever it is, and you can literally just add people, and most people will add you back. So I kind of flew through those, but those were the three first parts of professional photo and tagline, putting out some content, and then just making sure that you've got basically the whole profile looking good and set up and it looks professional. So like I mentioned with our approach, it's basically we've got the profile set up, okay, we found our niche, then we get the messages, right? We test out what messages work, and then we get our VA to basically come in and do that, okay? So how you go about doing that is you come up with a rough script, okay? Now this is a rough script because like no script is ever perfect until you start testing it. And so we're literally just adding some people, we're connecting with them, and we're basically asking them a few questions, okay? Now, the final and last point here that I want to make is that you have to give value, right? This script is a template that you're going to work off of, but you do not want to go in there. You do not want to go and pitch them, okay? My messages on LinkedIn are full of people pitching me. I literally have them all the time. I'm actually just going to pull up one and read it out to you very quickly. I'm not going to show their name because I don't want to embarrass them or anything like that. Okay, so the message I got was, "Hi Adam, we offer world-class developers, UI designers, project managers, business analysts, and more to companies such as Reuters, Consumer Reports, Highlight.com, saving them 50 to 70% costs. I want to introduce ourselves and connect with you." That's not a huge pitch. I've seen way worse, but that's just a great example of how not to do it. 9 times out of 10, I'm never going to reply to that. It doesn't give me any value. It just says, here's my company, here's what I do, connect with me, right? I'm not getting anything from that. He's not asking me any questions. He's not saying how he can help me. He's just basically spouting a general message. So definitely don't do that, okay? It's the quickest way to not get a response from people. So that's something that we've tested with our scripts. We try and make it very much not that way, right? So we're trying to just ask them genuine questions, build a bit of rapport with them, have an actual conversation, right? See if they're using Instagram at the moment. Are they getting good results? If not, what do they think is working? What do they think it's not working? Or what do they think is a missing piece? And then from there, I'm going to extend our hand and I'm going to say, hey, look, we do have a case study showing you how we've done X, Y, and Z. Do you want to see it? If you do, drop your email. I'll send it over to you. But I'm not going in with that in my first message. I've broken it up to maybe 3 or 4 different messages, so you're not going to get pitched straight away. And to be honest, with LinkedIn, I think this is the most important part because a lot of people use LinkedIn to get clients, okay? A lot of B2B people and salespeople use LinkedIn because it's an amazing platform. It's got great functionalities. You can filter down by company sizes, company locations, and all of these things that you can't do elsewhere. But that obviously attracts a lot of people coming in and just doing it in the wrong way. Doing it like this guy here, where he's just pitching me straight away. He's telling me what he does, and he's not giving me, as an individual, he's not giving me value. So that's the final point I want to land on, is that you've got to give value in your LinkedIn. And now that applies to anything. Like if you're doing outreach with cold email or Instagram or Facebook groups, you have to give value. Going in, pitching them straight away is a complete waste of time. It never works out of my experience, and you're just going to get ignored and you're going to get blocked. Now, specifically for getting clients on LinkedIn, you'll notice that a lot of people and a lot of businesses have been approached already, right? So like this one that I got approached by, but specifically for SMMA. They're going to be contacted by probably hundreds of Facebook ads people, people for Instagram, people for Snapchat, for TikTok, for every other platform out there. And so you have to stand out, right? You know, going in with just a real basic script and no real value to give them, unfortunately is not really going to get you clients on LinkedIn. So to recap on all of that for you, point number one, clean professional profile photo and a banner. Okay, so the banner, as you saw on mine, was very basic, was just the name of the company and what we do. Second point is that you got to have a good amount of connections in your niche. Okay, they don't have to be in your niche, it's just preferable because it will build up rapport with people and it'll show that you might be connected to their friends or people they know. Point number three is that you should post some content, right? This is not necessary, but it is an extra step that you can take just to get that extra bit of rapport with people. Point number four is that you should develop a rough script, follow it, deviate from it, and find a script that actually works. And point number five is give value, don't pitch. And if you are pitching, you're pitching the call, not your service, and you're pitching the fact that you can give them value. Now, I will say that with LinkedIn, we don't use it for getting all of our clients now. We still only used it to get about 3 paying clients in the last 2 months, so it's not a huge source of clients for us. Something we're still nailing in, we're going to be putting a lot more focus on, and we're going to be scaling up. Now, the thing is, we work with brands and coaches, so we found that there's not really a whole lot of coaches on LinkedIn. There are some, but there's way more on Instagram and Facebook. Whereas with brands, it's working that bit better because we can go direct to the CEO of a startup, or we can go direct to the CMO or someone in a position with influence within an actual company. So look, it depends on the niche that you're targeting. If you're working in a B2B setting, it's going to be probably perfect for you. Just make sure that the actual people you're looking for are on LinkedIn. Okay, we'll wrap up the video there. Thank you so much for watching. As usual, if you're new, make sure to subscribe or at least consider it. I would really appreciate if you could drop a like as well, and I will see you in the next video.